for the emergency.
Are you having problems with the neighbor's children?
Hello, Sheriff's Office. Were any of you guys over here messing with this lady?
No.
We were playing football.
So, I only have a 10-minute video. I can't do live right now. I have to wait a couple more days. For whatever reason, I don't know. Oh God, this is a lot. Anyways, let me just start off by saying thanks for all the love and the support. I really appreciate it. Alright, so I lived in an apartment subdivision called Club Run in Ocala. And there was this lady that lived directly across the street from me, and she would just be nasty to the kids. Even when they weren't playing in her field, they could be in the road playing basketball, and she'd come out and just antagonize them. No, you're being too loud, and just call the police every time. Long story short, she would literally just antagonize the kids for no reason. It was one point in time where she told my daughter she was going to be raped, because she was outside playing with the kids. Mind you, she was 12 years old at the time. She would call them retards, idiots. She told them that this isn't the Underground Railroad. She would wave her gun out the sliding glass window at the kids. She would take pictures of them, record them, just do all kinds of crazy stuff, There's just so much I could say. But let me take you to the night that everything happened. So the kids were playing outside. I ended up calling my kids inside. You know, I was serving dinner. Next thing you know, I got this big bang on the door. So I'm serving the kids their plates, and the bang was so loud, I was just like, what the heck? So I go outside, as you can see in the video, and it's AJ's oldest son, and you saw what happened. He was frantic. Somebody shot his mom. I kind of knew, like, when he told me that, like, who it was going to be because of this lady and everything she's done. I ran outside. I get across the street. My neighbor Lauren and one of my son's friends' dads was giving AJ CPR and mouth to mouth. So, you know, at this point in time, I'm just like so lost, and I couldn't understand. I was just shocked, like really bad shocked. I've never seen nothing like this before. So as you can see, obviously in the documentary, I was freaking out. So all AJ's kids ran to my house. I put them all in my house with my kids. I fed them. It was a crazy night. It was a crazy night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Totally Unrated channel, the Rated R Show. I have the one and only Miss Phyllis Wheels here this afternoon. She has been the outspoken voice on what has been a captivating and very soul-stirring documentary that landed on Netflix last month. It was a situation that most of the country, most of the world didn't even know about. It happened in a small neighborhood down in Florida. Um, I had a moment and opportunity to watch that documentary, and I'm trying to tell you, it stirred up some emotions that I didn't even know that were there. Um, it's very triggering. But this particular lady and her family, they actually witnessed some of the things that went on. And y'all just excuse Big Nip. He wants to let y'all know that he's here. But listen, man, without any further ado, Phyllis Wills, welcome to the Rated R Show. Thank you for being here. I know you was trying to get on last night, and it's okay. Safety first. You was in some heavy traffic down there in Florida. So, we not holding none of that against you because, listen, we are human beings and things happen. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
Well,
good.
Of course, I had a moment to speak with you, and I know that your world, your family's world, is a little different. But not only just your world, but the world of four young children who lost a mother, who happened to be your neighbors. Um, let's let's just journey. Um, I know that the documentary showed us some things in detail through the way of police body cams and stuff like that and different reports. But to your recollection, when did all of this stuff started happening in y'all's neighborhood with this lady? Y'all called her the Karen. When did all of this stuff really start happening?
As soon as she moved out there, it started happening. Like as soon as she moved out there.
So you guys was actually there,
Mhm.
living there in that community in that neighborhood before she even moved there.
I lived in that community. I'm 36. I lived in that community for about 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she
So
was and she was basically relatively new.
oh yeah, she was new.
Okay. Wow. So was this like a daily complaint thing that she was on? Was it weekly? Like was it like was she the type to she just like to pick a situation to start something, a confrontation when it
Mhm.
came down to the children? What was that all about?
I feel like she called the cops maybe once or twice a week. She would actually come outside even when the kids weren't, bothering her or nowhere near her and start confrontation with the children herself. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think that these kids were just bad kids and that, they were antagonizing her, and that's just not the case. The case is the kids would be out there playing and she would actually come out there and call them names and all kinds of stuff. So she would actually antagonize them.
So let me get this straight. She will only seem to have target the kids and have confrontation with the kids, but never had a confrontation with any of the parents, any of y'all, any of the adults that was able to speak with her about, whatever her concerns were.
When we tried to speak with her about the things she would say to our children, she didn't want nothing to do with it. So she would basically just try to shut us up.
So I noticed during the documentary they was speaking about a law that's down there in Florida called Stand Your Ground Law. After looking at everything that I viewed, do you think that she was really trying to play on that?
Ooh, I think that she thought she was gonna use that, yes, and get away with it. That's what I think. But I don't think that it is stand your ground law, my opinion.
I mean, especially
Yeah,
when we're talking about a neighborhood of kids that seemed like they was just doing normal things,
they was.
playing football, playing. I mean, they showed those things throughout the documentary.
And the
You
thing is
know,
they were out there with an adult almost every time. Almost every time. And she would even, come out there and yell at the guy that was out there with the kids and basically telling the little girls that, they're going to be raped, basically insinuating because they're out there with the man. And it was a lot. It was a lot of weird shit from her.
so um, this situation, the tragic part happened in June of 2023, correct?
Correct.
So prior to that, you guys have been having this history of this neighborhood drama for like what, a year?
About a year and a half.
Okay, prior to that.
Right.
So any other neighbors, any other, I mean, was it any other neighbors in your neighborhood that call the authorities over the
No,
petty things that we learned.
no, nobody else.
I'm gonna have to take y'all with me outside because Big Nip just won't. He won't let me be great. You was talking. And listen. You was talking about having your kids maybe in the background. I got one right here that just won't let me be great. Hey, good evening to everybody that's tuning in, Frankie and Johnny, and people that's in the chat. We are on the Totally Unrated channel. We are here with Phyllis Wills. Um, one of the most I guess say brave neighbors in your neighborhood who is was spoke about with the documentary. So take us through the eve of everything that you possibly can, because that was something that was very triggering to I know a lot of people that watched, and I know that it's a situation where I think that you probably constantly have to relive because now that this documentary has been put out there in the public view, uh, do you feel like it's a constant wound reopening every time?
I do. It is.
Um, I noticed in part of the documentary, I saw where one of the sons spoke about immediately after learning, what had happened was his fault, all because of that situation that particular evening. But after realizing that this lady had called the authorities to make another complaint, she within minutes took matters in her own hand.
Two
Um,
minutes. Yep.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
That is really crazy.
So
And now
basically, AJ literally knocked on the door twice. She knocked 2 times. The second knock is when the lady shot through the door.
and that's something that I'm not understanding because
Mhm.
I noticed that it's been a report since the documentary has came out. She wants to now call herself wanting to file a lawsuit against the family and I guess the children and everything because she feels defamed and what have you. But I'm just going to use my common sense here. How do you justify making a decision to fire your weapon is locked? Are you buying? I've heard her remarks. I've heard her remarks. Are
Mhm.
you buying that she was fearing for her life?
I know she didn't fear for her life. I mean, if she feared for her life, she wouldn't have done and said the things to our children. Like, she don't know us. She didn't know what we was capable of. You know what I'm saying? To hit somebody's kid with a skate, the things that she used to say to our kids, like she wasn't fearful of anything. She didn't know us like that. It's people out here that are really crazy. Like she could have said something to the wrong person's kid and they could have killed her. You know what I'm saying? Like over some stuff like that. But she wasn't scared. She wasn't scared at all.
I mean, that's something that really was disturbing. As I was watching, to know that she fired a shot, fired her weapon
Mhm.
behind a locked door. Uh, make it seem like she was for her life. It just part didn't make sense to me. I saw within the documentary released. How this is when I think your bravery and a lot of people acknowledged you in the documentary. How hard was that to watch, knowing that this woman had committed this crime and trying to use self-defense as a weapon and another law that's down there in Florida? How hard was it to watch her for those 5 days before they actually arrested her?
Ooh, it was really hard. I was angry inside. Like I was so mad. I've never been so mad in my life ever. I had so much anger inside of me. I was so mad and hurt at the same time.
Mm, I can only imagine. Seriously, I mean, just like many people that I have seen do their reviews on this. I've seen a couple on social media. That was some of the things that was stirred up inside of them, and I understand, us being angry. I think that for a person like myself to learn about this, and it has happened, 2 years past. I wish it was more talk about it then. It's just unfortunate that it had to take, a
KJ,
platform
stop.
like Netflix to bring this awareness to our attention. Um, do you think? I know a lot of people was talking about racism, and we're going to touch on that in a minute. But how much of this do you feel like mental health played in the decisions and the ongoing calling the authorities every week? How much do you feel like mental health played a part in this?
On Susan's side,
Yes.
I feel like she tried to use that as an excuse to get away with it. That's what I feel like.
Wow.
I just feel like, I feel like she did have mental problems, but I feel like she used a lot of that to try to get away with certain things. Like, oh, I was raped and I was this and I was that. Like, I don't feel like, that justifies anything that she did. I'm just not going for it.
I don't believe it either. I mean, someone who is twice our age, who has lived a little bit. I mean, to be 58 years old to make a decision like that, that's it's something mentally not right. But I also know that I'm looking at the situation from afar. Your neighborhood was a people of color, okay?
Right.
And it seemed like a lot of her time was spent on lashing out in a racist type of way. Can you
Correct.
expound on that part?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Like where when it comes down to it becoming a race issue on her part, where she denies being a racist.
oh, she was racist. I mean, you can't say you're not a racist and then throw the N word at our kids and tell them that this isn't the Underground Railroad. And you know what I'm saying? Like, people that aren't racist aren't going to say things like that.
Right.
So yeah, she was definitely a racist, 100%.
And I mean, and
I mean, at one time, her nephew, I don't know if you saw, but she has a sister. Um, and her sister has a son. And one time he was out in the parking lot, and she had him out there with his bike, and my son and another kid walked over to the parking lot to try to play with him, and she instantly like yoked the bike up and him up and was like, "You're not playing with these kids," and literally like drug him inside. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she was a racist, definitely.
I She got sentenced in last year, right?
Right.
She got sentenced to 25 years. Do you think that, I mean, we're not a judge, we're not a jury, but do you think that that was justifiable?
I do not. But I am going to say this. I don't think it's justifiable, but oh man, like just knowing that she was going to be behind bars, it was just a relief because
Right.
those 5 days felt like forever. And it almost felt like they wasn't going to lock her up at all. So just to know that she was going to be behind bars was a relief for me. But I don't feel like the 25 years is justifiable. But honestly, I don't believe, well, it's not that I don't believe, I know that that's just the beginning. Like she's going to get more. I mean, it's too
She
much evidence out here
ultimately
for her not to.
she ultimately got charged with manslaughter, right?
Right.
And I think you know a little bit about where the direction the family is going in. Um,
Mhm.
why do you think that it wasn't uh, a murder charge?
I feel like the race card got played. I mean, I feel like she got white privilege. That's just. I mean, that could be the only reason why, because there was so much evidence there. There was no reason that she got manslaughter. Like, nobody understands it. Nobody that was there understands it. Like, we don't understand why she didn't get charged with murder. It doesn't make no sense. Like, something doesn't add up.
Mm. Um, we had spoke earlier about her trying to move in the direction of wanting to sue the family and I guess the children and others because of this documentary. What do you say about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, she could try. I just don't think it's not gonna go in her favor. There's too there's too much evidence. There's too many witnesses. Like, she can try to do whatever she wants, but it's not gonna play in her favor. I mean, that just shows you right there what type of person she is. Like, she's got 25 years for murder, right? And she's worried about gaining money or fame off of a Netflix documentary when she murdered somebody. That's just, I don't know. It's just so much I could say. It's mm,
I and let me tell you something. I know this scene is going to be a ongoing thing. I know because of the situation and where it has landed now. Um, as far as the family is concerned, how how are they? I mean, I know that it's no words to describe the pain
right,
that they suffered by losing their mom so young, but it's been an effect across the board in your
right.
community, in the neighborhood. Can you give us that type of vibe and how it is since this situation happened?
Okay, so let me start with the neighborhood. The neighborhood is quiet now. Like, it's not, the kids used to go outside and play all the time. And it used to be, you just, when you go outside, you would hear the kids just having fun, playing. Um, they don't do that no more. They don't, ever since that night, they don't play outside no more. I just moved from there 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. But I stayed there like 2 years after the incident, and it's real dark now. It's quiet. It's not like it used to be. The kids don't really play. It's different.
Mm.
So,
I could that part I could only imagine. I mean, I'm sure with different situations. I know some people personally who have lost their children to gun violence and stuff like that, and it can be a dark place. It can be a dark area.
come here.
Um, I
Oh,
want to let the viewers know that I have a link in my chat. And let me see. I'm a see if I can pin it. It's a GoFundMe link in my chat. And the reason why I put this GoFundMe link chat is because this was a tragic situation involving a young mother that was how old was AJ, by the way?
so she was 35.
35 years old.
35 years
That was
old.
the that was the same age my mother passed away at.
Right. I'm
And
sorry to hear about that, by the way.
thank you. I really appreciate it. Not in the same tragic situation, but it was unexpected and
Right.
35 is still young. Um, and of course her mother had to step in. I'm sure others had to kind of step in
Oh,
to
yeah, they
be
did.
a support system for these young children. And what I want to do is right now, Phyllis, I want to just play this clip of AJ Owens' mother, just
Okay.
speaking about that, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
I don't mind.
All right.
So my sister Pamela, you probably remember, she's
my namesake AJ's mom. AJ was shot through the door. You tell the story.
On June 2nd, my daughter, Ajika AJ Owens, was shot through a locked metal door in Ocala, Florida, with her, at the time, 9-year-old son standing next to her. Susan Lawrence murdered my daughter.
Yes. What now? That was in 2023.
Yes.
And so now, how are you doing?
I'm hurting. I'm in a lot of pain.
You have the kids now.
Yes.
And it's just you.
Correct.
Single parent.
Yes.
What do you need from us? What do you need us to know? Because a lot of times, you guys, what happens is the cameras go away, right? People stop wearing the t-shirts, as they say, and people don't know what's happening with you and the family. What do you want us to know?
I relocated to Ocala to be with my grandkids. I wasn't prepared for this, as no one could be prepared for it. We have housing issues. I'm unemployed at this time because I have a 4-year-old grandson who's autistic, and he has multiple therapy appointments. We actually have a housing concern right now.
So in addition, what I'm also discovering is you're so busy with the kids. Yes. Your grieving process is suffering.
Yes.
So we just have to support you.
Yes.
And know that you're not alone.
Yes.
I know that you said earlier that you feel alone.
Yes.
Know that you're not.
Yes.
And we have to figure out how to help our sister.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We have to figure it out. Love you.
Put her down for a second.
Wanted to show that because ultimately our children are the future. I know some other mothers who are left in the same position as AJ Owens' mother is,
Yep.
and what I this is right now happening right now for myself. I would love to try to create a situation to where there's a support system across the board with people who have dealt with things like this. So people are given to the right cause and for a right positive purpose. It is a lot of people out here to scam. And let me tell you something, what makes me feel so comfortable with talking with you, Phyllis. Let me tell you something. One of the number one things when I came across your live on your Facebook, you said you don't do this for no money. This is what your reality has become, and and it's nothing you can do about that. And when I heard you say that, that was automatic respect, and I instantly reached out to you because I want this to be a place where you can come and provide insight and maybe updates to things that's going on, because as you had told me, none of um, your neighbor's family is on social media, which I do not blame them at all, because social media and the internet can be a cruel place,
Right.
and if you don't have tough skin to overlook or to what I'm saying, just
That's
be
right.
focused on what you just doing, it can be hard. And I want to let you know that over here on the Totally Unrated platform, we are in total support. You guys are always in our prayers. Ever since I learned about this situation, it really broke me down. I promise you, as a man, as a father, it broke me down watching and seeing those young boys just wanting to take the accountability for what had happened, but it wasn't their mistake.
Right.
It wasn't their mistake at all. And I want them to know that as they continue to grow and get older, I want them to know that that was not their mistake. And whatever their mother set out to do, it's manifesting and being done right now, even though it's, as you said, it's hard to relive the reality of that night. Speaking on this subject, I just want to say I thank you for the courage to being able to speak about it as much as you do. um I hope that you find peace or finding peace with it. Everyone who was affected by this tragic situation, as it has been out here in the public view for many viewers. I think I just saw something, and I don't know if the numbers are correct or not, but the Perfect Neighbor Netflix documentary has reached almost 500 million households.
Mhm. Yep.
That's a lot of people.
That is.
That's a
It
lot
is.
of people. So I'm hoping that this situation can not just touch in a way of bringing awareness, but also being able to be a support to the future for children who had no idea that their lives was going to be changed in a matter of minutes. That's just crazy. Um, but let's say, how are you doing?
I'm
How is
good.
you and your family doing,
We're good.
balancing through all this?
We are good. We are 100% good. The way that I look at it, it's not about me and my family. You know, it's
Right,
about AJ and her family.
right, and
That's who it's
definitely
about to me. 100%. It's not about what we went through. It's about what them kids went through. You know what I'm saying? That's their
right.
mom at the end of the day.
And you're absolutely right about that. That's the reason why it is important to be able to bring this to the attention to have support with it, because um it can be effective in so many different ways. And
Right.
it's always good to ask the next person, how they feel. And that's the reason why I asked you, because, as I spoke last night, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. The Dallas Cowboys is on a bye week this week. And we just learned throughout earlier part of this week of one of our players, you know, making a decision. We don't know what it's about. Obviously, they were saying that mental health was involved, but the whole thing is, just knowing that someone literally was able to achieve a dream, score his first and only touchdown Monday night, and then within hours things change. And from my understanding, I heard that his mother had passed away. Not saying that that was a solution to anything, but I heard that Marshawn Nealon, the player who passed away earlier this week, his mother had passed away not too long ago. And again, I know that it's a round discussion when it comes down to this situation that you guys had dealt with down in Florida. But mental health is a big, big
It
deal in
is.
our country. It
It
really
is.
is.
It is.
Oh,
But you
look
know
at the
what?
baby.
One thing I am gonna say though is AJ had some real good stand up friends, like some real good stand up friends. And her mom, that lady's an angel. Like she had a big support system. She really did. And I feel like, I mean, a lot of people don't ain't really said this too much, but I feel like Susan thought, she was gonna just kill this lady and get away with it, and she probably thought that she ain't have nobody, you know what I'm saying? But this lady has so many people. So
I'm very
quit.
selective of the things that I watch, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. It took me, um I don't know when it released on Netflix. Not really good with dates, but I seen some people chiming about it on social media, and then I think it was maybe 2, 3 Sundays ago. Cowboys wasn't playing too great. I do remember that, and I decided to click on it. We clicked on it, and started watching it, and again, just not being aware of the timeline and actually knowing that it happened, back in 2023.
Yeah.
um I gotta say that um at least the world got to see something that needed to be shown.
That's right.
I have had some friends that I've talked to personally, and I told them that, I think that it'd be a good tool um to watch with their children.
Yeah.
And I know that it's hard to watch, but I think the days that we're living in, when it comes down to the different Gen Z versus millennial and all those different type of things, people have forgotten about love,
Right,
you know.
exactly.
And it looked like, those kids had a genuine love for their mom,
Oh yeah.
and I felt that. That's
Yeah.
what allowed my emotions to be stirred the way it did, because I felt that love. Immediately taking on the responsibility of saying that it was my fault, knowing that they're not even 18, they're not even adults. It
Right.
was a whole grown ass woman,
Hmm.
old enough to be a
A
grandparent. I don't even,
grandma. Right.
she was a grandma.
Yeah.
That wasn't right, man. That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't wanna overkill it with this conversation, because again, I know um how saddening it is, and I know reliving it is a harsh reality for everybody involved. Do you stay in communication with any of the neighbors from the neighborhood?
Yeah, I do. Some of them.
Okay. Okay.
I do.
Now, do you know, like, how's their their take on the whole ordeal? I mean, I'm
Um,
sure.
I can't really speak for everybody, but I know everybody was. I know everybody was affected by it in some way.
Right.
Um, I know there's a lady right now that I do talk to every single day, and she's still in therapy as of today, and she's taking it so hard, so hard.
Mm.
So
Lord, man.
yeah.
Um,
I
Phyllis,
mean,
I
you could
thank you.
literally hear the lady if you. I don't know if you watched the whole documentary, but you could hear her in the background saying, "Wake up, please, wake up, get up, get up." Like it was a lot. It was a lot.
Mm.
So she's taking it like the hardest out of everybody.
And it's, again, I mean, to watch it. I mean, not physically, but to see that, you can understand why.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I know that it affected, people differently, and I know forever those children's lives is going to be changed forever.
Oh yeah, most
Their
definitely.
family's life.
But they got a good family. They have a really strong family. Them kids do. Them kids are gonna be good.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, they lost their mom, but they really have a good family and support system. So grateful for that.
Um, do you do you think at some point they would, um later on down the road, speak about, this incident? And I know it's too early to call that, but just to.
Not now. Not maybe when they get old enough. 18 and older, maybe, but no, not right now. No, no.
And as far as your kids, and how they interacted with them, how has it affected them? Have they been able to, you know get back to some type of normalcy since this situation has happened?
So, it affected all the children in the neighborhood. I'm gonna be honest with you, not just my kids, and it affected everybody's kids out there. Um, because they're kids to see some stuff
Right.
like that lady literally did this out in the open field, but
Right.
um, so yeah, it has affected all the children, all of them, everybody's kids out there, I believe. Ugh, it's just a lot.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out to speak with me over here about some of the things that went down. Again, I don't want to overdo it to help keep on reliving that, because that is something that probably will be forever be there. The number one thing that I can ask is ask God to continue to send comfort and peace your guys' way. And when it comes down to Susan Lorenz, is that how she pronounced her last name?
Susan Lorenzic, I have no idea.
I, you know
We
what?
call her Karen. So
And that was the funny part, because they when the officers came up to the kids called her the Karen. I was
yeah.
like, man, I bust out laughing. Um, she is definitely the worst
Karen.
Karen ever.
Ever. Ever.
I mean, I have heard about a lot of different stories, throughout my life, reality things that has happened that has affected, and this one right here takes the cake.
Takes the cake,
This one
right?
takes the cake. It really
Yeah.
does. And I really am sorry that you guys all had to experience that,
Yeah.
because I personally I don't know how I would have managed in, especially in real time, that so just to know that you're able to continue to go on, and you definitely seem healthy. You acknowledge what mental health is, and we all have issues. We're not perfect at all, but
Right.
this lady was twice our age and made a really bonehead decision. And yes,
Exactly.
if you guys have not watched the documentary, you can watch the documentary. It did talk about the stand your ground law. I don't know if she was trying to play off that,
Hmm.
but that was something that I went and I looked up myself, and I said, "Oh wow."
But you know what is
Um,
so funny about that though? She went and looked it up before she even did any of this. She went and that's what really, upsets everybody is she went and looked that up probably a couple of days before she did this. And then bought the gun a few weeks prior. So like, the cops are seeing all this and they're still not, what I'm saying? It's just
sounds
a lot.
premeditated to me.
It is. It was. It was. It
Hmm.
was.
Do you see it going back to court for her when it comes down to those things?
I don't see it. I know. I know it's
Well,
going back. It is.
well, I hope that uh, pure justice is served in that case, because I know that even though it's some relief with her being incarcerated and a sentence of 25 years has already been handed down,
Hmm.
I feel like that she doesn't deserve a chance at any type of freedom, even if she was to live long enough to see it. I mean, she was in a I mean, from what they displayed and what the whole world saw, she was calling way too much
Hmm.
to not know what she was going to do,
Right.
and then call them right before you do it. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all think about that, people in the chat, people that's viewing, but it seems premeditated to me, you know. Now I ain't, allegedly. I know how y'all be out here on the YouTube streets. At the end of the day, Phyllis, I thank you for taking some time out with us
Thank you.
to express, your experiences that has went down in the former neighborhood that you was living in. I'm sorry that you had to deal with such a ill soul like that. Somebody who still trying to profess their innocence when the whole world saw, now. Um, but I'm hoping that not only is it a lesson for her, but a lesson for all communities around this world, to where we can be better in our communities, be able to have conversations, even if they're tough conversations, because the number one thing that was missing out of the whole equation is that woman having a tough conversation with
Go put
y'all
her candy back.
about whatever her concerns was, instead of calling the authority every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man, I have a GoFundMe link in the chat, guys, to the family of AJ Owens.
Mm.
Um, I urge everyone. This is a for a good cause, because these children are without their mother. Will be without their mother physically for the rest of their life. But as you have moments like this that keeps that mother's name alive, this is something that I come to understand for myself. Being without my mother for 25 years, she continued to live. Anybody who believe in the Almighty God and His Son Jesus Christ, if you believe that He died and risen and His Spirit lives, we know that others have the ability to live. So again, I thank you, Phyllis, again for
You're
coming
welcome.
on and speaking with me. And I hope, just know you're welcome over here anytime. Welcome over here
Thank
anytime.
you.
And and it don't have to always be about this. Just know that you're welcome anytime. And I thank you 100%. And if you guys weren't able to catch this live, you will have to catch the replay. Um, because she got things to do too, and we got things over here to do. Is there any last things you want to say, Phyllis, before we get out of here? Before you get up out of here, because I know you got the baby in your
I'm
arms.
sorry.
No, you
No, I
fine. You
don't. I
fine.
thank you for having me.
You welcome, and thank you, everybody in chat. Thank
Say
Miss
bye.
Phyllis Wills for stopping by over here to Rated R Show and sharing us some experiences that she lives through down there. And if you guys have not seen that documentary, you need to go check it out. It's called The Perfect Neighbor. It's very, it can be triggering, but listen, you listen, you just
Hand me
heard
that.
something real from somebody who lived and witnessed it,
Exactly.
and we're going to continue to keep you guys in our prayers. I hope you have a good Sunday evening.
You
Uh,
too as well.
and bye, little one. Bye.
Sorry, guys.
No, you fine. You fine.
All right. You guys have a blessed day.
All right. You too. Let's see. Well, guys, listen. That was a real situation that happened down there in Florida, or Keller. And you know, I thank God for me being able to reach out and speak to Phyllis Wills, someone who experienced this thing firsthand, and she was one of the people that dubbed as a one of the heroes, spoken out, and everything like that. And some of those things, just got highlighted through the way of this documentary. And at the end of the day, man, you know, um, you can't help, what it is. I'm sure that being celebrated in a more positive way is what everybody's hope and end goal is to life. But sometimes it goes in a different way. And a different way is knowing that a 58-year-old woman, grandmother, mother herself, took matters in her own hand. It was seen to be premeditated. Man, it's a sad situation. But I want you guys, if you haven't seen it, Go check it out for yourself.
Why are they on private property that they have no means? I mean, they don't rent here.
Well, if those people aren't complaining, I can't kick them off that property.
Well, then I'll send a cease and desist letter to them. Have my
Okay.
lawyer do it. There is, in the real estate laws, you should know this, that you have
That's
a
all
right
civil
to
to us.
peaceful, quiet enjoyment of your property.
Yeah.
You know, that is in the law.
Well, it's civil, so we don't really deal with
I
that.
understand, but those
Deal
kids
with
shouldn't be
criminal.
over here.
Okay.
They shouldn't be screaming and, running around either. I mean, the parents aren't attending them. Obviously, they're just,
I understand it's a nuisance, but I'd rather kids be screaming because they're out here playing and have a good time than stealing cars and robbing people. So.
Yeah, a little bit. It's terrible.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
Please excuse the background noise. If you are planning to watch The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, I am here to give you a warning. The documentary follows the real-life case of A.J. Owens, who was shot and killed in 2023 by her neighbor Susan Lorenz after a 2.5-year ongoing dispute. The Perfect Neighbor uses police body cam footage to chronicle the constant visits to the neighborhood after Susan called the police on the children in the neighborhood for doing simple things like walking across her grass, playing football in a neighboring yard, or making too much noise. But on June 2nd, 2023, things turned deadly when AJ went to Susan's house to confront her about throwing a skate at her son and taking his iPad, and Susan shot and killed AJ through her front door. Now, I remember writing about this case when it first happened and just documenting all of the things that happened thereafter, all the way from the fact that Susan wasn't initially arrested, all the way up to Susan's conviction. So I knew the story, so that's what I was planning to see in this documentary and just maybe get more detail that may not have been released to the public initially. What I did not expect to see in the documentary was AJ's children after she had just been shot, in the moment that they told those babies that their mama wasn't coming back home. It was in that moment that I had to walk away from the documentary. So I figured I would warn others because I was not expecting to see that. So if you are planning to watch, just know it's coming.
That lady is right where she needs to be. Right where she needs to be. Meanwhile, you think I won't take it there? You think I won't take it there, and I will. Meanwhile, this was a real situation that happened, got litigated in court. Lady got charged with manslaughter, of course, and should have been probably charged with premeditated murder. I wish the world was more in tune with it back when it happened, besides now. As a matter of fact, I know some people that belong to a sector on the YouTube streets that live down there in Florida. And as they played these court games out here on the YouTube streets, they never did bring this up. But meanwhile, they all up in R. Kelly's business. Yeah, I said it.
POV kilos in my back, take Amtrak down south. south, then she flies back. My connect has ponytails tied back. I just hit 6 mil behind Tyvek. They content create, I despise that. I create content, then they tries that. Run these Jews, there's rules, I don't buy back. I've topped all these lists, where's my prize all I see is 60-day stars and 20-year thousandaires. Not enough shopping, whole lot of browsing theirs. My reinvention, I know you thinking how's it fair? You stream kings, but you never fit a crowd in there. Supreme team parallels when the powder clears. I seen things that I'm still not even proud to share. You Zeus Network niggas, you hear me loud and clear. Get these 5,500 to host the niggas out of here. Saying
Greetings, everyone. You're live with YDK, Lily. Mosquitoes. Oh my God, I hate it. But anyway, if you notice, I am standing by security cameras in use. Only reason I'm standing over here is because of the word security. They have breached my brother's security, Robert Sylvester Kelly Sr. They've breached it with the employee at the Federal Bureau of Prisons tapping into his stuff and giving it to bloggers and things of that nature. They breached his security. So I decided to stand by the word security. Don't worry about the cameras in use, even though cameras are in use where he is. However, I'm just...
Yeah, I said it. Now, but check this out. Keep creating that fake news, and I guarantee you, we gonna have a good old fiesta. Do you feel me knocking? Then let me in. I want to thank each and everybody for stopping through, and everyone uh, chance to Phyllis, speak. Again, uh, this situation is bigger than her, and she is, not ashamed to admit that. Well, we're just ordinary people, okay? All right. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what title you want to give yourself. It doesn't matter what accolade you want to entitle yourself to. We're all just ordinary people, and sometimes, if you're a part of the program, you're a part of the program. And it ain't meaning it like that. I'm not meaning it like that. What I'm saying is that you can't help to be what you're a part of because of a situation. I'm sure that Phyllis Wills and her family, her children, they didn't ask for this. Jackie Owens did not ask for this. Her children, her family did not ask for this. But if I had to say, one thing, to document, although it is triggering, it definitely deserves a watch. My heart goes out to that family for having to suffer through a tragedy like this. But I know that you will overcome, and you shall overcome. While the negative is locked away, to right now currently serving 25 years, I say as a people to wrap your arms, spiritual arms, around situations like this, to let these children feel loved. I have a few others that I want to present like this moving forward. And I'm not for sure if they, you know, listen to me or not like that, you know, because, you know, everybody is just coping with life. But I know it's some people that are hurting, you know, internally from tragedies that has put them in positions to having to be the backbone and also deal with, you know, the uh anxieties of depression and things like that. And you know, sometimes having these type of tools as an outlet to talk about certain things, it's a good thing. That's the reason why people need to understand what to do with their tools. Because there's a lot of foolishness that's just really just, you know, going on through these platforms like this, you know, on the social media tip. And at the end of the day, man, it's people that are really dealing with mental health, you know, syndromes, you know, and people a dream mess, but they want to drag you in it. You know what I mean? I hope that um, special to some who are able to um, watch as we were bringing you information last night. You know, and I gotta, you know, just give a shout out to Phyllis one more time, man. She was while you guys was waiting. I know you guys was waiting last night. You know, I was gonna do a part two. You know, we people have real lives, things going on. She was willing to actually go on last night while she was driving, and I was like, no, 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 no. Your safety first. No, not even going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do that to you. So you know, it was getting late. You know, yesterday evening, and you know, I told you guys we are going to and was able to hear someone who was um, directly impacted by the situation down there in that neighborhood, man. And you know, like I said, it's some people that have been in some situations, um, but gun violence is gun violence, and mental health is mental health. Okay, so there ain't no need to keep on trying to categorize certain things, you know, and try to get fancy with your words and stuff like that. You know, and there's no need to doing all of that. You know, common sense is a good tool to in your tool. If you want to lose sight of common sense, then you know you can become lost in other things. But I just want to acknowledge that none of us is perfect. We have these platforms like this to where we really tighten up our community better than what they already are. What some of y'all out here do it for? Scheme team. Point something's gonna have to give. Gonna give. Something real and all like you really. So understand this is that was worldwide televised. tele- And if I could kick it real with somebody that something like that, and for real, and this is to all the chatterboxes that are here calling themselves a blogger. Y'all supposed to been assisting and helping how I'm getting ready in addition to do that. So like me ain't got to fake it to make it. But I know who you and who ain't. Because if y'all was not selfish, full of bullshit, I'd have been put y'all's attention on a situation like that. Something that took a young mother out of this world over a foolish act. I'm talking to the network. But meanwhile, y'all want to be all up in